Hi guys, followed by the last video. In this video, I'm gonna tell you how to find the relationship between sides and angles of a triangle. These relationships are represented by trigonometric ratios, which are sine, cos, and tan. And how to find sine, cos, tan is the main content of this video. Before doing that, let me remind you how to name the three sides of a right angle triangle. So in this right angle triangle, definitely the one that opposite with the right angle here is hypotenuse, never change, and we use H as its abbreviation. And then you have to identify which angle you are working with in this triangle, and it is this one. So if you work with these angles, then the side that opposite with this angle is this one. It's gonna call opposite or O. And then the remaining one that next to the angle that we are working with gonna be adjacent or A. And how to find the trigonometric ratio from OH in A. So first one is sine. Sine of the angle that you are working with, which is theta, this one, theta, equals the opposite divided by hypotenuse. And the abbreviation for this one is SO. So S is for sine, O is for opposite, and H is for hypotenuse. So when I write SO, you're going to read down sine of an angle equals opposite divided by hypotenuse. Next one is cos. Cos of the angle that you are working with, which is theta, equals adjacent divided by hypotenuse. The abbreviation for this one is CA, which is C for cos, A for adjacent, H for hypotenuse. So when I write CA, it means you read out loud like cos of theta equals adjacent divided by hypotenuse. The next one is tan. Tan of theta equals opposite divided by adjacent, and the abbreviation for that one is, for this one is TOA. T for tan, O for opposite, and A for adjacent. So this one you read out loud like tan of theta equals opposite divided by adjacent. So three trigonometric ratios are sine, cos, tan, and the abbreviations for them are SO, CA, TOA. So let's write down here SO, CA, TOA. Then we're going to use this trigonometric ratio to work with this example. The first one is write down the trigonometric ratio of this right angle triangle. So absolutely we have to write sine, cos, and tan. And the angle that you are working with is theta. So first I have to name the three sides of this right angle. This one, the one that opposite with the right angle is hypotenuse, which is H, and the angle you are working with is this one, and the side that opposite with the angle is this one, which is O, and this one the remaining is A. Now let's write down sine of theta equals SO, right? So sine equal opposite divided by hypotenuse. So you just write that down, equal opposite divided by hypotenuse, and substitute the value of opposite, which is A, and the hypotenuse is 10. So it's equal A over 10, which is 0.8. Then cos, move on cos theta equal, so here you have CA for cos theta equal adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So just write adjacent divided by hypotenuse equals, substitute the value of A into here, which is 6, and the hypotenuse here is 10. So you have 6 divided by 10, which is 0.6. And then the last one is tan of theta equals TOA is O divided by A, O is 8 and A adjacent here is 6 is equal 1.33. Let's leave it at 2 decimal places. Next question. Again, I will write so quatre on top of my every questions. So quatre. So I remember how the formula is. So this one, write the trigonometric ratio of angle alpha. So in this right angle triangle, we have alpha and beta. We have two measurements. However, they just asked us to write the trigonometric ratio for alpha only. So this one, we're going to work with alpha only. All right. So the one that opposite with alpha is O, opposite. And the one that opposite with the hypotenuse is the one that opposite with the right angle is hypotenuse, H, and the remaining one is A. Now, we're going to write 3 trigonometric ratio for this triangle. So sine of alpha, because you are working with alpha, is equals opposite divided by hypotenuse. Opposite divided by hypotenuse. So opposite is divided by hypotenuse. And I don't have any measurement for this side, like no pronumerals as well. So I'm going to use BC as the measurement for the opposite. So it's equal BC divided by hypotenuse is AB. And then cos theta, cos alpha equals adjacent divided by hypotenuse. And again, there's no pronumerals for the adjacent, so I'm going to use AC as the measurement, represent the measurement of the adjacent. And AB or BC or BA is the measurement of the hypotenuse. So it's equal AC divided by AB or BA. And last one is tan theta is equals 3 divided by adjacent. 3 is tan equal opposite divided by adjacent. So write that down, opposite divided by adjacent. And the opposite is BC divided by adjacent is AC. So it's equal BC divided by AC. The next example, write the trigonometric ratios related to the two given sides. So it means that in this one, they give you the measurement of the two sides and the measurement of one angle, and they want you to write the trigonometric ratio for these two sides only, the relationship between these two sides and this angle only. In any question, the first thing you have to do with trigonometry is name the three sides of the right angle triangle. And in this one is H, hypotenuse. The one that opposite with the angle that you are working with gonna be O, and the remaining is A. And see, you can see here, so they give you the measurement of H, the measurement of O, and this angle. And now, if I write down the trigonometric ratios, they are so, car, and 3. So which one in this has O and H? This one, okay? So this one have O and H. So the trigonometric ratio that they want you to do, they want you to write down is sine. So we're going to write down sine of theta, which is the angle that you are working with, equals opposite divided by hypotenuse, and the opposite is 12 divided by 15. All right. Or you just shorten it out, sine theta equal 12 divided by 15. So you can see here, we have the data, the measurements of O, H, and this one. And in this trigonometric ratio, it represents all of the three measurements, theta, 12, and 15. Okay, so this is the final answer for this question. Next one. Again, we're going to use so quatre. Just write that down here. So quatre. And I have to find with this measurement what is the relationship, what is the trigonometric ratio that can represent the relationship of these three. Okay, so we name the triangle first. This one is H, easily this one is H, and this one is opposite, this one is adjacent. And they give you the formula, the information of A, and O and this angle. So you check this trigonometric ratio, which one has O and A? This one. So it means that tan of this angle will show you the relationship between this angle and these two sides. So let's write that down to see if it's correct or not. So tan of theta equals tan equal opposite divided by adjacent, which is opposite is 20 and adjacent is 31. Or write that down here. Tan theta equal 20 divided by 31. See? So we have the relationship between theta, 20, and 31. Done.